Sweet comrades, and thank you very much. I am lost for words because this is so overwhelming and comes a week later in the wake of another very overwhelming event, all of which are just events of love and passion and all that is good that I never thought I would be associated with, never ever in my life. But I still want to underscore for all what we have said, which I believe you are talking to my leadership. I would just like to say, even as the comrades here opened this with a song calling upon our ancestor, calling upon Oliver Tambo, inviting him to hold us by his hand. And I think this is a prayer. I don't know if you realize, we may never sing that song in vain. Tambo Bamba Isandla Sam. I wish, in fact, every day our leaders in government and in the ANC, I wish this could be a code of conduct. Tambo Bamba Isandla Sam. I think this would make a tremendous impact on the leadership, on the crisis of leadership that we are going through right now. We have all kinds of crises, but we do have a crisis of leadership in our organization. When our organization can even utter it at the highest level of our organization, that our leadership is going on a trip to China, to the Communist People's Party, to go to that party and learn organizational discipline in China from the People's Communist Party. This is an ANC that is 100 years old, an ANC that has a track record of leadership, an ANC that has a leadership which carried out a battle, a grand battle against the most formidable enemy, a criminal enemy, criminal regime that killed people and children over 80 years. Our leadership faced that formidable enemy. They never crumbled. They never retired back to the trenches. They took it head on until it succumbed. You don't achieve that kind of battle without discipline. Yeah. You don't need to go and learn discipline from anybody else if we have gone through that kind of battle. That is the discipline of ANC. That is the discipline of Oliver Tambo. That is the discipline of Nelson Mandela. That is the discipline of scores of our leaders. But yes, today we do have a crisis of leadership. We do have a crisis of leadership in our country. When leaders need to explain themselves why they held a meeting, a simple meeting, and you have to call upon them. Were you there at that meeting? Who was there? What were you doing? And then you get a response, which even as you listen, to that response. You see lies coming out of the teeth. That is the leadership we have. That is the crisis of leadership that we have. It has all kinds of things. At the memorial service, in memory of my fallen comrade, Dr. Zwela Skweyiya, the Deputy President, David Mabuza, gave a wonderful tribute, a stately, statement-like tribute. But he said something which I don't know if you would all have listened to it, at least to me. Deputy President David Mabuza found it within himself to characterize our leadership, referring to an incident that the fallen comrade Zola Skweyiya had raised in a very pointed manner. Deputy President David Mabuza says of our leadership, there is a culture of arrogance. That's what he said. Check it. You can go and check the clips on the TV. The arrogance of leadership, arrogance of our leadership. This is the leadership that I'm talking about, that we have a crisis in leadership, crisis of leadership. There's a crisis of confidence. We don't have confidence in ourselves. We don't have confidence in the leadership. Somebody has just very correctly said, you know, ANC is not this branch. Yes, indeed, of course. It is, we are the founding stone. Without the branch, there's no ANC. But ANC is everything that is institutional in our country. The government is ANC. The departments are ANC. Everything that touches our people is the ANC, defined by our constitution, of which we are very proud. We pride ourselves of this constitution as the best constitution. We even back it with the National Development Plan. These are wonderful documents that we have. And yet, even in our institutions that are supposed to be the babies, supposed to be the tentacles of ANC reaching out to the people, even in those institutions, there's a crisis. There's a crisis in our public service. Our country, our public service is literally burning. You know, the expression says, don't roam while Rome is burning. That is what I used to learn in English back then, many years. But our country is burning. Our departments, buildings hosting our departments, hundreds of our civil servants, that building is burning down, going down with people, 3 people dead. Simply because somebody somewhere who is an official supposed to monitor that building, the integrity of that building, to make sure that it is fireproof. There are inspectors employed by our government. I know this because I come from that environment. There are inspectors supposed employed to check that. To check if the systems are all working, to check if the water connections are there, to check if the sprinklers, anti-fire sprinklers are in shape in the event of a fire. But when a fire comes, it happens, the people who are supposed to put it down don't find any workable mechanism, and instead it is they who die. That is the crisis of confidence that we have. That is the crisis in our public service. That is the crisis which comes from us, ANC. You know why? Simply because in our government, we have a crisis of incompetence, a crisis of incompetence, a crisis of patronage, a crisis which we describe in a very colorful name, cadre deployment.
Yeah.
That is the crisis of incompetence. Because cadre deployment says, not your merit, which is the Constitution requires. You know, our Constitution says anybody to be employed must have merit, must have ability. You must define that objective. This is what the Constitution says. That is what our National Development Plan says. Insulate the top officials from the patronage of the executive. That is what the National Development Plan says. But who of the ministers follows that? None. No minister even reads that. That is the crisis of incompetence. That is the crisis of patronage. Patronage, which world over, countries have gone through this patronage. England went through it in the 19th century, 1854-55. They had patronage in the English monarchy. Those days there was no government. The crown was the head of government, the king. That was the era of the divine right of kings. They had the right to rule. So in that court, to be appointed, you needed what was called a patron. A patron was somebody who had been invited by the king to sit next to him to run the affairs of the king, the treasury, the defense, and everything. Now, this patron would determine that there is need for one or two people. So he would say, you, my sister, I know you, come. I'm her patron then. That's patronage. My sister comes regardless of qualification. She comes and I give her a job. That killed the governance of the crown. And people revolted against it. And that had to be stopped by Prime Minister Edward Gladstone, 1870. He declared, he issued a council, order in council, declaring patronage a crime in that country. Nobody should ever practice it. They stopped it, the British stopped it. And corruption disappeared. But we are landed with that today when we are boasting of going into the fourth industrial revolution. That's what we're saying. We are praised for that, and we're going into it head on with patronage. Huh? But this is the crisis that we're facing, and nobody really seems to recognize it as patronage. And I'm not denigrating the president. That is what I wanted to raise with the president when I asked for an appointment. In response to what the president had said to Mamina, I was actually saying to Mamina, I'll help you get rid of patronage. That's what I wanted to say. I've not had that opportunity. But that is the crisis that we're facing. So even as you say, oh, Bob Samuel, you're wonderful, you have done this, you have done that, or you've done the public service, I am amped by this. I don't want anybody to say there's a Sangweni legacy, there's a Zola Square legacy. I'm amped by this. I'm amped by these happenings. We are running now with a big commission of inquiry into this state of capture, which is really validated. We know it happened. It's a big, very expensive operation for which we have to pay. You are paying for that with your, I'm glad I'm not talking anymore, but you guys are working. But you are working, that's where your taxes are going to fund this big matter. You know where it comes from? It comes from patronage. President Zuma, for no reason whatsoever, except patronage, sees Moyane and says, Moyane, come here. Here is a job for you at the South African Revenue Services. The most critical, the most, delicate of our receptacles for your taxes. Without that, there will be no government as there is now. Zuma says to Moyane, simply because we were in the trenches with you. That is the only qualification Moyane had. Out of, you know what, we now know there were, is it 127 candidates? Even if it was 27 candidates who were presented to Zuma. Zuma pulled out Moyane out of those. Moyane was in the correctional services. I'm not talking about people's name, this is in the public domain. And this is the crisis I'm talking about. The crisis of patronage. The crisis of incompetence fed by cadre deployment. That is what we're landed with as we stand here today on the verge of the fourth industrial revolution. So, colleagues, you know, somebody was saying once you start talking, you speak for an hour. But now you're in my house, I should I should not hold you hostage, really, but I would like to thank you very much. I'm touched by this, and I would like to thank you so much. I am struggling with my eyesight, I'm struggling with my ears, but I can feel the passion, I can feel the love from all of you, and in particular from this lady here from Nigeria who also came to join us on this occasion. Thank you very much. I am really very touched.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
I have been to Nigeria, by the way. But thank you very much.
Thank you.